is only one God, and his name is death.
And there is only one thing we say to death.
Not today.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of my Minecraft survival series. In the previous episode, we fought and killed the Ender Dragon. However, we did end up dying from it. But it's all good, because in this episode, I have planned that we are going to be building a mausoleum for the fallen. And by fallen, I mean myself, because I did that. So yeah. But before we do that, I did get myself a donkey, as you can see here, and I thought it would be a good idea to actually name it. Oh, here's the name tag. So we're gonna name the donkey Donk. I know it's pretty original, but Donk isn't actually short for donkey. I named the donkey Donk because there's a certain CSGO or CS2 player right now named Donk. He's on Team Spirit, and he's literally turning into like the next GOAT, I would say. Like, he's doing incredible stuff in the professional CS2 scene. I don't know if you guys actually care about that, but yeah. So I already picked out an area for where I want the mausoleum to be. It's actually going to be where our world spawn is, which is just across this mountain over here. And as you guys probably saw from the beginning clip, I did make a small little tunnel connecting our area here to the spawn over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through there really quickly. If I can get up this. Okay, so here's the small little entrance. It's just like a pretty small little tunnel area I built just for easier passage. But yeah. So I don't think I've shown this area, but this is where our initial spawn was in the world. It was right next to this cherry blossom biome. So I've already cleared out an area where I want to build the mausoleum, but before I actually start building, I think it would be a good idea to show like what the blocks I wanted to use and just like how I went about designing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and post him right here, him or her, I'm not sure. Donk, don't run away, okay? So yeah, these are the building blocks that I've chosen to use. And just to give like a general idea of what I'm actually planning to do, here we go. It's kind of going to be like a gothic style mausoleum. I was kind of inspired by the game Baldur's Gate 3. If you guys haven't played that game, and then in one of the scenario, or in one of like the missions, I would say, it's not really a mission, but in one of the quests, you actually have to go inside a mausoleum and explore it and like discover the secrets that are within it. So I was inspired to build something sort of not really like it, but based off it. So as you guys know, for gothic style builds, they typically have a bunch of like spiky, I don't really know what the correct term for it is, but on the roofs. So if you act like this is a roof, right? If this was a roof, yes. Typically on top of the roofs, they have these little like spike things on it, and that really gives it its gothic style, I would say. So yeah, that would be like, the roof wouldn't be out of this color, but this is just the general shaping that I want to get with like sharp angles going this way and that way. And another thing that I wanted to do, I also have anvils for the spikes. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool was that on the base layer there would be these pillars. Hold up, I'm gonna go ahead and sleep real quick. Okay, so now that it's daytime, I'm gonna go ahead and explain these pillars that I did. So on the four corners of the building, the building's just basically just gonna be like a rectangle about this big and this way. But on the corners of the building, I thought it would be a good idea to put like these pillars. And I found like a pretty cool pillar design using blast furnaces. So if this is like the base layer, then you can basically put polished basalt on top of it. And yeah, this would be like one pillar and another one would be over here somewhere. But yeah, I think it actually kind of matches. I especially like these corners right here. I think it actually gives like a pretty good idea of it being like the base of a pillar. If you just ignore that. I mean, this kind of matches too, but yeah. Another pretty like, actually for a mausoleum, another key feature of it, I would say, is they also have like these pretty big glass stained windows, or not even glass stained, but just like windows or like art designs in the side walls. And also they typically have like a little like painting in the middle above the doorway. At least that's what I've seen in all the pictures that I've researched before this. So I've decided to use glazed terracotta, and I didn't come up with this idea myself. I actually saw this in one of B-Dub's videos. But if you have glazed terracotta, they do look pretty jarring when they're just like this. But if you put glow lighting on it, then it does kind of match. It does kind of turn into like a colored window, or maybe even just like a painting on a window. It's up to your imagination. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And I think okay, I'm gonna have to get more of that later. But yeah, that's another thing. And there's one other thing. I also wanted to put armor stands, kind of like acting as like the gargoyles that you would see in the corners of the building. But I don't really have the armor stands right now, so I would have to do that at the end. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this build. I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually start building it, and once I get to a certain point, then I'll tune back in with you guys. Okay, so I have completed the wall area. The interior is not done yet, but well, I don't even think I'm gonna be doing the interior this episode. But yeah, this is what the outside walls look like, and this is what I sort of meant when I showed you guys in the beginning, that these pillars, I think it actually does kind of match, especially from afar. You can't really tell that, well, you would know it's a furnace, but like you can't really tell that it just kind of matches with the build. So I really like what it looks like from afar in particular. As you can see, it's really starting to shape out, and as soon as we add the roof section, I think it'll look pretty cool. And I also have the glazed terracotta, which I showed too, right here. It's just a small area on these sides, and I didn't add glow lighting. Instead I used black stained glass panes. Oh, I guess I forgot to add it. Okay, that's awkward. Let me go get more. I don't have any more. I'm gonna have to fix that later. But yeah, so we have, on this side it looks a lot better actually. So you can't really tell it's glazed terracotta from a distance. It kind of just looks like a design, like a green design, or like a piece of art, or maybe even like a green light that's shining through. But yeah, and I also added like these anvils on the side. I have to fix that piece and these pieces. Okay. And then the back area isn't nothing special. I didn't really know what to put in the back. I'm not sure what goes in the back of a mausoleum, to be honest. So I just left it blank for now. I mean, obviously, like, there's some texturing on the walls and the corners, but there really isn't anything there. But I think the sides actually look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty happy with how the sides turned out. And then we also have the front area with the gate, and it's not finished. It's not finished yet, obviously. We still have to add the roof, which is probably what I'm gonna do right now. So yeah, I'll tune back in when we finish the roof area. Alright guys, so we're almost done with the entire build. I went ahead and finished the roof area. As you guys can see, I just decided to make it out of mud and the regular mud, the mud bricks and the regular mud. But I had to go on a little adventure getting leather because I did need a lot of leather for these armor stands that I'm putting on. I had to do some pretty vile things, as you can see, to get the leather, because I realized that horses actually drop a lot of leather, and there was a lot of horses like around this area, and I needed probably around like 2.5 stacks of leather, which I didn't have. So yeah, don't tell Donk about that. But right now we're just adding the last pieces of armor to these armor stands, and that should be the exterior of the build basically complete. Boom. Okay, gonna go ahead and get rid of the scaffolding. So yeah, this is the completed build, I would say, on the outside. Don't mind the inside, obviously. And oh yeah, this is how much steak I got too from killing a bunch of cows for leather. Gonna go ahead and put that over here. Okay, oh, he's freaking out. Alright. So yeah, this is what it looks like from the outside. I'm actually pretty happy about how it turned out. This is probably one of the first builds that I made with a more like gothic style, as I was mentioning before. And I think it ended up pretty well. One thing that I did want to show, which I did mention, but I don't think I explained it really well, was I'm gonna use the cheat cam here, but I used, like I said, I put the glow lichen in front of the glazed terracotta, which I think it actually like makes it blend really well with the stone around it too, and also it from a distance, which I think is the best view. Let's just go a little farther. So yeah, from right here, I think this is a pretty good view of like the entire build. It looks pretty gothic. I mean, and as you can see with the glow lichen in front of the glazed terracotta, it kind of looks like a sort of like a painting or like a mural right there, and it doesn't really look like as jarring as it would if it was just glazed terracotta. So yeah, we can do a little tour on the around over here. I actually really like the sides. I think they definitely do its justice. The armor stands, they do match, but they don't really stand out, which I kind of like at the same time. They kind of are just meant to, you know, these gothic builds, they sometimes have like statues on the sides and like in the middle corners and whatnot. I think it kind of showcases that. The backside, once again, don't really know what to do here. Oh, yeah, don't really know what to do here, so I just kind of left that part blank. And then this side is the exact same thing with the armor stands, and like the roof also has these little spike things. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this build. Besides the interior, at least. I don't think I'm gonna do the entire interior today because I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this. This is just gonna be a placeholder for where, because typically for mausoleums you would have a casket or like some sort of burial center in the middle area or like at the end. So I think this is a pretty good area just for planning in the future. But there is one thing that I wanted to do to probably finish off this episode. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the base and get the necessary materials. Alright, so I grabbed what I needed for the finishing touches of, well, not really the finishing touches, but just what I needed for this. And I basically just grabbed a book and quill and then a dragon's breath. And the reason I did this is because I basically wanted to use this area or the entire mausoleum build as a way of showcasing the different ways that I might die in this world, because I mean, I'm not the best at keeping alive. I don't really carry totems, or I don't really find the importance of them that much. I'm okay with just like dying in this world, but if I do ever actually die, then I think I'm gonna add a lectern, for example. Oh, this is gonna be a 2-layer wall, so I think maybe right here would be fine actually. Wait, yeah. So for example, the thing that killed me for my first death was, and this is just temporary interior, but the thing that killed me for my first death was the dragon's breath. I ended up just, so what happened was that an enderman was attacking me, and I sort of panicked, and I just like thought the enderman was still attacking me, but in reality I was actually just standing in the dragon's breath area, so it damaged me and I ended up dying. So that's gonna be what killed me in the end, and I'm just gonna keep a record of everything that so this is gonna be my first death, and I'm just gonna keep a record of everything that actually killed me in this game and how I died. So I believe yesterday's date was June 9th, so I'm gonna put June 9th 2024. Actually, let's do this at 1. Then let's go June 9th 2024. Reason: fighting the Ender Dragon and died to its breath. I think that's just a brief little statement. I think that is pretty much it. Oh, and I also have this other thing where, let's see, so I'm just gonna keep it here for now. But because our world spawn is right here, I'm just gonna make a thing that if we ever die, because I really never like have a bed and always keep it as my spawn. I always usually break it after I sleep. So if I ever die and I end up spawning in this area rather than my main base, then I'm gonna keep like a little backup box here. So I'm just gonna name it Shame. Did you die but not set your spawn? Yeah, so basically if I don't set my spawn and I die, then I'll spawn somewhere in this general area and I can just come here and grab the necessary items, which I'll probably put an extra diamond sword, an extra pickaxe, and probably an elytra when I end up getting more than one. I don't even have one right now, but once I get more. But yeah, that's gonna be what I have planned for the interior. Probably gonna do 2 wide walls, so this is gonna be the first wall, and there's probably gonna be one right here as well. I think that's gonna be more of an off-camera thing. Hopefully I'll have it done by the next video, because it does take me a very long time to do interiors. I kind of just like the way I do interiors. I kind of just go to this crafting table right here and then just like look at any like possibility I could possibly use, which does take a long time, and I don't think it's like really the best for videos, so I'm just gonna keep it at that. But I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Once again, don't tell Donk that I had to kill some of his friends. Oh, he might know, but yeah, I had to definitely kill a lot of his friends to get all the leather for the armors. But in the end, I'm really happy of how this build turned out. It looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. I think eventually we might expand this whole area and then build a bridge across to there, which I think would be a pretty cool idea. But yeah, I'm really happy about how this build turned out. I think I originally thought of putting this build in my main area over there, but I don't think the style would actually match, and I think that was actually a good call, because this definitely would not match in the area over there. That's more villagey, and this is more industrial, not industrial, but more like city gothic style. So yeah, I do think it turned out well. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And hopefully a new episode will be out soon. Thank you for watching.